Hello, it is July 24th, 2014, so I'm going to do another garden tour. I hope you enjoy it. And here we got zucchini, basil in the corners, and Roma tomatoes. More Roma tomatoes, and then we have some one Italian tomato there on the end, and then some watermelons. There's a better picture of the watermelons. And here we have Italian tomatoes and Roman tomatoes right over there. And this bed's the same as the last. It has Roma tomatoes and Italian tomatoes. That is one of the Italian tomatoes. It's huge. Okay, in this 2x8 bed we have I can't remember their names now, but the Mexican tomatoes, and then on down we have, and we also have cucumbers, some more Italian tomatoes, and then lemon cucumbers. And then on the other side it has broccoli. And in this 2x8 we have peppers in the front, a variety. We have jalapenos, corn de toros, another sweet Italian pepper, and bell peppers. And then on the back we have more Italian tomatoes. And in this 2x8 bed we have tomatoes. These are determinate tomatoes. I have glacier tomatoes and orange king tomatoes, and then some more basil on the end. And then in the back I started my second batch of sugar peas, and they're coming up nice. Over here I have some more basil, started more sugar peas, and I've had cabbage over here, but it's not doing very well. Here's my licorice mint. And I also redid all the signs this year, or this month, because when I had done it in ink, the sun had faded it. And this one is just the common peppermint. And this is our large bed along the fence. It is 3 foot wide, which we found out is too wide to be up against the fence because you can't really reach to the back. So that's one lesson learned there. And we did have sweet corn in here, but we've already harvested. We ended up with like 9 ears, I think. I have several different kinds of cabbages growing in here. And for northern Indiana, we've had very cool, wet weather, and they seem to be doing really good. My fennel is starting to seed. And that's what I was growing up for, the seeds. And then where we've pulled, we've added, we put in more seeds for a fall harvest. And you can see the grapevine back there, which is doing good. We planted it last fall. I haven't found any grapes on this vine yet. These are ground cherries, which are really quite good. I just dehydrated some yesterday, and they're like little raisins, but they taste more, have like a caramel flavor, I would say, maybe. They smell delicious in the dehydrator too. This is the area where the potatoes were growing, and so we've put in turnips now, and Chinese cabbage, and I've also planted some more, what did I put in there? Cilantro for the fall, but it hasn't come to the ground yet. Here's another grapevine, and we do have some grapes right there on this one. And this one we also planted last fall. We've bagged a couple of the sunflowers to keep the birds out of them. Planted a few more pepper plants here, and then a couple more ground cherries. Down here is where I had carrots and a few other things, and when we, beets and so forth, and when we pulled them, we added, we just put in some spinach. There's a few pepper plants there too. This bed here is new. We just put it in this month. It is 30 inches by 8 feet. And we planted some purple top white globe turnips and some mustard greens. This here is the cover beds, which we put in last fall, and you can see everything is doing really well in there. This plant here is a broccoli plant, but it needs to go through winter to produce, which I didn't know when I planted it in the spring. So I'm glad I put it in the covered bed so we can cover it this winter, and early spring we should have some broccoli. This is the Mandris or Madras pod, which is a radish pod, and it has produced very well. More cabbage, a few pepper plants down there. Another pepper plant, and a different kind of cabbage here. These cabbages, I cannot keep the snails off of them. I come out every morning and pull 2 to 3 snails, and again in the evening I'll have 2 or 3 more. Then these over here are called rat tail pods, which are another radish pod. And then our strawberry beds are doing very well. They've been spreading like crazy. Hard to keep them in the wooded area inside it. And then the second strawberry patch we will have is also doing well. And over here, this is a 2x8 bed with a variety of different things. Down the center is asparagus. It's a first year asparagus from seed. And then we've got carrots and another radish, rat tail pods. And I just picked these last Friday, and I'll be picking again tomorrow. And this is another madras pod. Madras. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. And here's another 2x8. And it has mostly peppers, but it also has a few carrots in it. And this 2x8 has beets, lovage in the center, and then some more radish up front. This here is catnip, blackberry bush, which was planted last fall. This is the first year that we've gotten berries from it. This one here and the one large one in the back is red raspberries. And if anybody can tell me why this has happened, I'd like to know. It's almost on every end where it was going to bloom. But we have gotten several raspberries from both plants. We just eat them right out here while we were in the garden. Over here are the blueberry plants we just planted this year. We only had 2 blueberries so far, but they were sweet. And then I've also planted some more ground cherries in between the berry plants. This here is Lady's Mantle. It is finally coming up out of the ground. It just laid on the ground for a long time, so I'm hoping it'll come back next year. And this is Meadow Sweet, which is not doing very well, but it is surviving. And then right beside it, we have Marshmallow, or Mallow. This is one of the toothache plants I have. I just clipped off the majority of the flowers, and I'm dehydrating them right now. This is in the covered bed where I had garlic, and I've pulled it, and so we put in some spinach. And this is the long center bed. I've got cherry tomatoes, and then green beans, and then where I didn't have a green bean come up, I would plug in a pepper plant. And this green bean here, you can tell that it's different than the rest. I don't have no idea why. It has been blooming, but not. Oh, I guess it is producing now. And then we have jalapeno peppers. And behind that, we have lavender, which should be blooming soon. And then we have a few bell pepper plants, a couple more ground cherries. These are also known as husk cherries. And then corn de toro peppers. And these are Jimmy Italian peppers. Sweet bananas. And cilantro peppers. And then we have some sweet corn. We have built 2 new 4x8 beds. Obviously they're not filled yet. There's 1 and there's 2. And then we also built another 4 foot by, I don't know, I think this was 30 or 28 feet. And this also needs to be finished too. So hopefully we can get that done by next month and you can see the process there. This little plant here is new. It's a super hot chili pepper. And we put it in a pot because they said to bring it in during the winter and it'll keep producing. And over here is my herb bed. And you can tell I've been harvesting it from it regularly. This here is feverfew, and I've given several plants of these away because they are supposed to be good for migraines. I don't get migraines, but I have a few friends and family members that do. The little plant there is called Self Heal. It still hasn't bloomed, so I'm hoping it'll bloom soon. And then these 2 here are chamomile. And this is the cold frames that we put in early this year. And we started as soon as we could, bringing out broccoli and cauliflower and so forth to try to get an early start on them. This is cabbage in the cold frames. And here I just pulled out celery. And so we planted in 1 snowball cauliflower and then some greens for this fall. The greens haven't come up, but the snowball is up. Something's been munching on it, but it is surviving. And then that there is corn salad, which has gone to flower and seed, which we want it to do so it'll spread. Here's some more celery. If anybody could tell me why my celery is so skinny, I don't know if it's the type of celery I'm growing or what, but it is very skinny. And this is a purple cauliflower. And more celery. Now this celery is a little bit thicker than the other one that I just shown. This here is black raspberry plants that I just planted this year, and they just keep growing and growing. So hopefully we will get some berries this year yet. And then I've also planted 2 of the ground cherries in between them. Okay, this is a bed that's up front in the house, and I had netting over these last month when I showed my garden progress, and as you can see, the netting didn't help whatever bugs, something is still getting in there and eating them, so I removed it, and they seem to be doing just as well without the netting. And then down here I planted a few seeds. I planted some more cilantro here, which still hasn't broke through the ground, and some more turnips. And here's my pawpaw tree. It's still surviving. And this bed is up front of the house too. There's a different variety. We've got some more ground cherries, some peppers behind those, a cucumber plant in the back, a few peppers up front, watermelon, and there's another one right there. And then I have some more Italian tomatoes growing up front here. Peppers in the front of them. And then one more cherry tomato plant down there. And here is the catnip that I harvested from a few weeks ago. And you can see that it is growing nicely. I'm going to be transplanting this. I need to get it out of the covered beds and into another place. And that is my July garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and you come back next month to see what's going on.